Have you ever found yourself avoiding the things you know you should do? Procrastinating, feeling drained, or just not motivated? Well, what if I told you that there's a scientifically backed way to trick your brain into doing the hard things you need to do? Self-determination theory, or SDT, is a powerful psychological framework developed by Desai and Ryan. At its core, it's all about understanding the factors that motivate us to act, especially when things get tough. According to SDT, motivation exists on a spectrum from extrinsic motivation, where you do something because you get a reward, like money or praise, to intrinsic motivation, where you do something because it's personally meaningful, like enjoying a hobby or the feeling of progress. But here's the catch. SDT suggests that for motivation to be sustainable, it needs to come from within. We need to satisfy three basic psychological needs. 1. Autonomy, the feeling that we're in control of our actions. 2. Competence, the sense that we're capable and improving. 3. Relatedness, a connection to others, or feeling part of something bigger. If you can meet these needs, you're more likely to stick with the hard things you need to do and feel motivated doing them. But how does this all play out when you're staring at a task that feels impossible? Let's get practical. How can you actually use these ideas to push yourself through the hard stuff? It comes down to focusing on each of these three key needs. Here's how. 1. Boost autonomy. Instead of seeing a task as something you have to do, reframe it as something you choose to do. You're the one in control. This is where you can make small shifts, like choosing when and how you complete a task, or deciding the exact way to go about it. The more you feel in control, the more likely you'll get started. 2. Enhance competence. Competence is about progress. We all love that sense of mastery. So, break down your big tasks into smaller, achievable steps. Each time you complete one, you feel a sense of accomplishment, which builds momentum. As you start to see the results of your hard work, your brain will start linking that effort to success, and that motivates you to keep going. 3. Cultivate relatedness. The final key is relatedness. Humans are social creatures, so find ways to connect your efforts to a greater purpose or to others. Maybe that's working with a friend, joining a group, or simply reminding yourself why this task matters to you or to those around you. Knowing that your hard work is tied to a bigger picture makes the effort feel more meaningful. Now, let's be honest. Our brains don't always like to do hard things. When we're faced with something difficult, the brain activates the amygdala, which sends out a signal of danger or discomfort. This is why we procrastinate or avoid tasks that feel overwhelming. But by tapping into self-determination theory, you're not just pushing through the resistance. You're retraining your brain to associate difficult tasks with growth, control, and connection. And when your brain sees those things, it's much more willing to get started. By understanding and applying self-determination theory, you can force your brain to do hard things, not by sheer willpower alone, but by tapping into what truly motivates you: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Remember, it's not about forcing yourself into misery. It's about making the hard things more meaningful and finding ways to motivate yourself that actually work with your brain, not against it. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how can I make this more enjoyable? How can I take control? How can I see my progress? And most importantly, remember, you've got this.